Hi, I'm Stuart Ralph, and I'm the founder and creator of a podcast called The OCD Stories. Yeah, The OCD Stories started in 2015, and it was a way for me to interview researchers, clinicians, therapists, psychiatrists, as well as people with OCD, with the goal of sharing proper treatment information to help those suffering with OCD and give them hope to start making a difference in their lives and start to recover. It was part of my own recovery. So I saw all these stories around the world, kind of everywhere, and I wanted to create a website where the stories came in one place and they were kind of recovery focused. So they showed the struggle, but they also showed that, and this is what I'm doing to try and get better and sort of reclaim my life. And then the podcast grew out of that, where I interviewed the researchers because kind of I wanted to learn from them, and also I wanted to share what I was learning with others. So it was through my own struggle is kind of the inspiration for the podcast. Yeah, so a big part of it from the clinicians' side of things is really educating people on what exposure and response prevention therapy is, or acceptance and commitment therapy, and how it applies to the treatment of OCD. And we break down into some real granular topics. Also, I try and stay top line because, as Dr. Reed Wilson says, the content of your worry is trash, and OCD is OCD, and how we treat one theme of OCD is almost exactly the same as how we treat another. So we really go into that. We break down the various therapies. And then from the personal stories that people share, the goal is, I believe success leaves clues so you can learn from other people, but it's also just to not feel alone, which is when I get contacted, a lot of people say that they no longer feel alone because they feel attached to the community, even if they're not close to anyone. Yeah, so you can go to theocdstories.com where you'll be able to find them all, or you can go to any podcast app, type in the OCD Stories, and you'll find it. You can find it on Spotify, and if you don't like podcast apps, you can also find it on YouTube. Yeah, it's a good question. So for me, very much the formula seems to be working. So I'm going to keep looking into exposure and response prevention therapy. Sometimes alternative or therapies that can be integrated into ERP, such as acceptance and commitment therapy. So do more on that. I want to do more with children because I think that's an area, if we can get early intervention, I think that's a very positive thing. And then also now where I built a good relationship with a lot of these therapists, they come to me with topics that they feel need addressing, and that's great because they're on the ground, they're working with clients every day, and they can tell me the topics that you guys want to hear. And ultimately people contact me too and say, can you cover this or that? And I will do my best to accommodate that.